Entra na roda, o maracadão me chamou pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor. Entra na roda, o maracadão me chamou pra bater palma e pra tocar tambor.
Proper is why she still is attached to all of her ex-boyfriends. Jumping right into the subject matter, have you ever noticed that a female that you're dealing with always sees herself with someone else? For example, when she says to you, if you and I were not together, she would be doing such and such and such and such. Or if this was different and that was different, she would be doing such and such and such and such. She says she would be here and she would be there. She speaks of if you all were to break up, she would do X, Y, and Z. She's always wondering about the next relationship. The next relationship and its possibilities, the next guy, the next experience. For in her mind, the relationship that you have with her is temporary. You are not a permanent fixture in her life. You're not the great guy that you think you are, at least not to her. See, they all think about their exes. For her, the past is always ever present. The past is always present in her mind. He takes up emotional and mental space, even several years later. This is her secret. Shh. Nobody knows. Now, most women now would admit that they still care for their ex-boyfriends. what does that really mean? In fact, I would go on to say that it's normal for her to still care, which means she still has feelings, which means she still has an emotional tie and connection. How can she not have feelings for the father or fathers of her children? How can she not be reminded constantly of her baby daddy every time she looks at her son, every time she looks at her daughter or daughters and sons? How can she not think about her ex-boyfriend? How can she not think about the first man she's been intimate with, the second man, the third man, the 40th or the 50th, the 100th man? See, the emotional space in her heart is crowded. Many men live there, and they have been resident for years with no sign of moving out soon. You are just an addition, a current but passing trend. See, she never loves a man. I say again, she never loves a man. She loves men. They all love men. The men of their past, the men of their present, and the men in their future. She thinks about him. She thinks about him especially on his birthday. She cannot forget the date. She is reminded oftentimes of the time they spent together. When she sees a familiar item or goes to a familiar event, when she goes to a familiar place, she is reminded. They are sentimental creatures, aren't they? She remembers the times that they had at the beach every time she sees sand. Unforgettable. Permanent memories. Emotional connections that would never fade. More addition.